Today we see the new concept as radius of gyration. Suppose this is your door. You are opening and closing the door. This door is now open. Now it is closed. So moment of inertia of a door can be calculated by using formula. Moment of inertia is equal to summation mi ri square, where ri is a distance of different masses of a particle from the axis of rotation. This is axis of rotation. Now this distance is r1, this distance is r2, this distance is r3, this distance is r4. These are the different masses present in the door. There are number of particles present in the door and which is rotated around this axis of rotation. So from that you calculate the moment of inertia of a door. The mass of this door is now replaced by a point mass. Suppose this is a point mass, very small mass, which is equivalent to the mass of the door. Now we rotate this point mass around a certain axis of rotation and calculate the moment of inertia. Mass of the door and this point mass is the same. Now we obtain the moment of inertia of this point mass, which is equivalent to the mass of moment of inertia of the door. So for that we adjust this distance, that is a distance of mass from the axis of rotation. We change the distance and again calculate the moment of inertia. We change the distance, again calculate the moment of inertia. At a particular distance we get the moment of inertia of this point mass is equal to the moment of inertia of the door. This distance of a point mass from the axis of rotation is known as radius of gyration. That is the moment of inertia of this point mass and the moment of inertia is the door same. So whatever the distance between the point mass and axis of radius of gyration. In a body or object of any shape, we consider a small mass dm situated at a distance r from axis of rotation. Suppose this is a body of any shape and this is one mass, one point or one particle whose mass is dm, which is at a distance r from this axis of rotation. Then write the moment of inertia of this mass dm. So moment of inertia for mass dm is m is equal to distance square into mass. So this r square into dm. Now we find the moment of inertia of a complete body or object as I is equal to integration Im, which is equal to integration r square dm. We always use this concept. And now we study the two theorems. One theorem is known as the theorem of parallel axis. Second theorem is known as the theorem of perpendicular axis. See the diagram, which is very important to write the derivation. So this is a body of any shapes. This is the center of this body. Now axis passes through this center and body is rotated around this axis. Now we change the position of the axis. Now it is this is a central axis. Now the position is changed. Axis passes through a point O. Initially it is passes through this point, central point. Now it is this point. If you observe that these two axes are parallel to each other, using that we write the derivation of theorem of parallel axis. So this axis is parallel to this axis which passes through the center of the body and distance between those two axes is r. First we see the principle of parallel axis. We consider the body of any shape. This is a body of any shape. This is the center of the body. C indicate the center of all the body. Now the body is rotated about this center. And we calculate the moment of inertia of a body when it is rotated along an axis passing through its center. Now the same object is rotated through another axis which passes through the body. This is a point O through which axis is passes and around which object is now rotated or body is now rotated. We have to calculate the moment of inertia about this new axis. For that, we consider the moment of inertia of a body about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to its plane. So this is a axis passing through the center, around which we have calculated the moment of inertia, which indicated as IC, and we calculate the moment of inertia about this axis called as I0. If you look these two axes, then it is found that these two axes are parallel to each other. So these two axes are parallel to each other. So therefore this principle is called as principle of parallel axis or theorem of parallel axis. Here also we consider any particle whose mass is dm. We join the central point and mass dm. Also we join the new axis position, that is point O, and mass dm. First we see the theorem of parallel axis. What is that theorem? The moment of inertia of a body about any axis, that is I0, is equal to sum of its moment of inertia about parallel axis passing through the center of mass and the product of mass of the body and square of distance between two parallel axes. So these are the two axes. This axis is passes through the center of mass of the body. So moment of inertia about this axis is IC, and now we calculate the moment of inertia about this axis which passes through the point O, and it is known as I0. This moment of inertia about this axis is equal to the sum of the moment of inertia about an axis passing through its center of mass and product of mass of this whole body and square of distance between these two parallel axes. So I0 is equal to IC plus mr square. Consider a rigid body of mass m rotating about an axis passing through O as shown in figure. Consider small element or particle having a mass dm situated at a point P of the body. The moment of inertia of a body about an axis passing through O is I0, which is equal to integration of distance square into mass dm, so OP square into dm. Second point, moment of inertia of a body about an axis passing through C is, that means about this axis IC is equal to integration distance square into mass dm, so Cp square dm. Consider the triangle PDO and use the Pythagoras theorem. Using the Pythagoras theorem, OP square is equal to PD square plus OD square, but OD is nothing but CD plus CO, CD plus CO. So PD square plus inside bracket CD plus CO bracket square, but CO is nothing but R, so CO is equal to R. OP square is equal to PD square plus CD plus R whole bracket square. Simplify this bracket, which is equal to PD square plus CD square plus 2 times CD into R plus R square. Use a second triangle PDC and again apply the Pythagoras. Applying the Pythagoras, PD square plus CD square is equal to PC square. Substitute that value in above equation. So PD square plus CD square is equal to PC square. Therefore, OP square is equal to PC square plus 2CD into R plus R square. Using equation 1, this is equation 1, that is moment of inertia about an axis passing through O I0 is equal to integration OP square into dm. Substitute the value of OP square now in above equation. Separate out the integration. So integration PC square into dm plus integration 2 CD into R into dm plus integration R square dm. By definition of center of mass, integration 2 CD dot R dot dm is always 0, and also integration dm is equal to capital M. Using the equation number 2, we write as I0 is equal to IC plus R square into capital M, or we may write I0 is equal to IC plus M R square. Theorem of perpendicular axis. This theorem is applicable to the laminar object. Laminar objects are nothing but any two-dimensional object, just like a leaf, ring, disc, or any plane sheet, square, rectangle. It is a two-dimensional body. It is a laminar body. A ring, it is a two-dimensional body. It is a laminar body. Or any plane sheet, metal sheet you have to consider, paper sheet consider. These are the laminar bodies. That is a plane sheet type of bodies. This is a plane sheet, so it is a lamina. So we rotate this object along x-axis. This is your x-axis. We rotate that object along this x-axis. Then we rotate the same object along y-axis. So this is y-axis. Now we rotate the body along this y-axis. First we rotate the body along x-axis. Then we rotate the body along y-axis. So this is y-axis. We rotate the body along this y-axis. And finally, we rotate the same body along z-axis. Now we rotate the body around this z-axis in this way. So there are the three axes. One is x, another is y, and this is your third axis as a z-axis. Now we calculate the moment of inertia about this third axis as a z-axis, and which is equal to the sum of the moment of inertia along x-axis plus moment of inertia along the y-axis, called as theorem of perpendicular axis. Now we say theorem of perpendicular axis. Moment of inertia of a plane lamina about an axis perpendicular to its plane is equal to sum of its moment of inertia about two mutually perpendicular axes in the plane of a lamina intersecting at the point where the perpendicular axis cut the lamina. Consider a plane lamina. Let Ix, Iy, Iz be the moment of inertia of lamina about x, y and z. That means when this lamina rotated along this axis x, then moment of inertia Ix. When it is rotated along this y-axis, then moment of inertia is Iy, and when it is rotated along this z axis, then moment of inertia is Iz. We consider small element having mass dm in this lamina. Now we rotate the mass dm along x-axis and we write the moment of inertia. Moment of inertia of element dm about x-axis Ix is equal to y square dm. But we are not rotating this single element dm along x-axis, but we are rotating whole body. So we write the moment of inertia of whole body. So moment of inertia of plane lamina about x-axis Ix is equal to integration of y square dm. Similarly, now we rotate this body about this y-axis. Moment of inertia of element dm about y-axis is equal to Iy, which is equal to x square dm. But we are not rotating this single mass about this y-axis. We are rotating the whole lamina. So moment of inertia of a lamina about y-axis Iy is equal to integration x square dm. We add the equation 1 and 2 together. After adding Ix plus Iy, which is equal to integration y square dm plus x square dm. Take integration and dm as a common. We get integration y square plus x square bracket complete into dm. But this y square plus dm from figure, this distance is y, this distance is x, this angle is 90 degree. So using the Pythagoras, y square plus x square gives you the r square, and r square is nothing but OP. So OP square. So integration OP square dm, and OP is the distance of mass dm from a z axis, and this integration gives you the moment of inertia of a lamina about z axis, so which is equal to Iz. So Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy, and that is a proof of this theorem. You may write it another way. First we write moment of inertia of a lamina about z axis Iz. That Iz is equal to integration r square dm from figure, and using the Pythagoras, r square is nothing but x square plus y square into dm. Separate out that integration x square dm plus integration y square dm. Now using the equation 1 and equation 2, it also gives you Iz. You may write this proof in this way also. So theorem of parallel axis can be used for any type of object, but theorem of perpendicular axis can be used for laminar objects only.